My name is GiftTime. I'm the CEO and founder of GiftTime Media and Productions, and I'm a rugby marketer. When it comes to rugby marketing, we really primarily like to focus on doing 5 things: partnering with players, partnering with teams, creating select or all-star teams, partnering with events, or creating custom events. The reason why is that they carry a way of being able to create an experience, but each have an individual strength that does it differently per what the business or organization needs. When it comes to partnering with players, what we know is that there is a lot of range to how well people know individual players. For us, it's not super important that a player is well known, but we want to make sure that a player is able to represent what the company is going to represent and the authenticity of the rugby culture itself. So for us, it's much more about crafting the storyline and the campaign to create the experience of what the company is asking for through the rugby player's experience. When it comes to partnering with teams, I find this one to be really interesting because so many teams are established. And while there's not all large teams and not all teams are created equally, all teams have a story and an access into the community that is unique to them. So for us, it makes it really important that when we're talking to a team and partnering them with a company, we want to make sure that they are not only just representing on the field, but are capable of representing off the field as well too. We know that it's very difficult to be able to know all the stories of rugby people, but this is what we do. And this is why we are able to make great connections with these teams for your company. When it comes to select teams, it's one of my favorites because having a select team is something that involves both the player influence and obviously the team aspect. With businesses, the advantage is you can pool multiple players from regions and areas that represent who you want as your clients and who would be best for your product, while simultaneously them coming together to participate and play in places that you want that representation to be shown, where you want your product to be seen and entered into, and you have people who properly represent it in a way and in a fashion that is attractive to them. With select teams, we always work to try and create a place of mobility, not just to be able to play in one region or the next, but to be able to hit multiple places over a period of time and give a true authentic look into the rugby culture and then the association and the character that goes with it. So we work with players and programs to be able to create that proper experience for a client. When it comes to partnering with events, this one is probably one of the best ways of creating the experience because these events typically already have an established audience, established base, and have something that people can return to and have a consistency to them that makes it easier to be able to present your product, your mission, your solution of sort. Not only do you have that, you have an ability to bring in multiple teams and create an experience where spectators can fully engage and be able to just see people who are like them or have at least a similar value to them interacting with your product. Like, it is an amazing thing. And then of course, it's the levity of the environment. It already exists. There is an energy that naturally progresses through the air, and you attach that with what you want to do, and it's the most amazing thing. And it only works to create a better bonding experience and better engagement, which leads to better clientele retention, which leads to more people talking and being a community with what you have to offer. And lastly, creating the event. Because for us, we're all about creating events around a thematical component. It's not simply just saying, hey, here's a name, and then try and get people to come and then bring the spectators. Everything has a purpose. The reason why is because your product has a purpose. You as a business have a purpose. You as an organization has a purpose. And we want to make sure that we are bringing people together who can uplift and highlight the experience of that purpose. So we make sure that anything that's done is done with relevance. It is done with intention. And it is so uniquely interesting to be able to see and bring teams from different places, bring your clients and be able to say, enjoy this experience that almost feels like it was made for them without realizing it was made for them. And that's what you want. We want to be able to innate that loyalty in there. And it changes how you do things. Of course, with everything that we do, it all relates back to being able to connect to tools that already exist. With digital marketing, we utilize this content, these stories, to be able to put them on so that people can see it. It doesn't separate what you've done, it enhances what's already being asked. And that's what our job is to do. We enhance and add another component. This is a secret weapon to just take you over the top from everybody else. It is our journey and our pleasure to make sure that we get this done and that we are able to perform these experiences for you. There's so much that to be able to tap into, and we work with people all over the world, events all over the world, teams all over the world, and you have an opportunity to be able to tap into that. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Schedule up your consultation. Let's go do this because we want to make sure that you are getting the most out of your product.